Hello everyone, Daniel here for the Next Issue Podcast. Today's video is a review for Venom #1. This is a new comic from Marvel Comics. It is written by Al Ewing and Ram V, penciled by Brian Hitch, inked by Andrew Currie, colored by Alex Sinclair, and lettered by Clayton Cowles. Like I mentioned, this is from Marvel Comics. So after the events of the previous series by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman and the ending of the King in Black story, Eddie Brock has vanquished Null and become the symbiote's new god. While attempting to repair the damage from Null's attack, Eddie is confronted with an omen from a mysterious being that threatens everything he ever loved. Meanwhile, Eddie's son Dylan, who we saw in the last issue, um, took over the symbiote, the Venom symbiote, wrestles with his feelings of abandonment and anger, as these feelings are only amplified when circumstances lead him to bonding with the Venom symbiote. Um, so right off the bat, I just want to say I was a big fan of Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's run, but I am also a very big fan of Al Ewing and Ram V. So I was very excited for the upcoming series, and I really want to say they really delivered with this issue. Um, I love that we now have a Venom book, which is about Eddie and his role as being king of the symbiotes, as well as Dylan, and now maybe having to deal with him being the wielder of the symbiote, the Venom symbiote that we are familiar with. So very excited for this. I also want to commend the art team, Hitch, Curry, and Sinclair. I think that they did a very good job in bringing this story to life. In particular, I would say the aspects of the more cosmic stuff. So here, let's let's check this panel out. I love the design of the Eddie symbiote, and although Brian Hitch has a very traditional house style, I think it really works for this book. I think Venom is a book that the design is so cool that it'll work whether you do a traditional style or a more stylized. I've seen both. I like both. I'm more of a fan of the non-traditional, more stylized Venom type of art. But as we can see here in these panels, it really works. The design, especially in the cosmic stuff. I mean, just want to check this out. Like, very dynamic. I love the design of the. I guess I would call it Emperor King. King in Black Eddie Venom. Um, so this was definitely very good to read. The one thing I will say is because we have technically I would say three main characters. We have Eddie Brock, we have Dylan, and we also have the Venom symbiote. There's a lot of narration in this book as they kind of talk to each other because they communicate telepathically, which means that it's not really dialogue that's been given out. It really there's just a lot of narration boxes. If you guys have seen some of my other reviews, you guys know I'm not a big fan of narration in the comics. In this instance, it makes sense. I've just kind of gone with the flow with it, and each voice is definitely captured very specifically. So that's a great job by both the writing team and the letterer to make sure that each of the narration boxes feels specific to each of the characters. Now let's go on to some more of the art here. I do want to say I am, as much as I'm enjoying, and we'll get back to the cosmic story with Eddie. It can't be easy for Dylan. He's been through a lot recently. I think this is the first time we are seeing. Almost feels like a little bit of a parallel with a young Peter Parker, but what if Peter Parker didn't have a support system built in, like you know, with Aunt May and his friends. In this instance, Dylan's kind of almost all alone. He has a sleeper, who's the cat symbiote thing, but other than that, he just kind of relies on his dad sometimes. Um, so I don't know. The art team really delivered on that. I highlighted that panel specifically because you can see the pain and anguish kind of in Dylan's face as he gets into trouble in school. And then with the contrast here, and I think this is all Sinclair has a lot to do with this next panel. I love the shift in red as Eddie gets this premonition via one of the symbiotes that's kind of been hacked by whatever entity. So like this is very menacing, very good panel layouts here. Um, so yeah, I mean this is pretty interesting. We do have towards the end. This is a supersized issue. Yeah, supersized. I believe it's 34 pages, so it's supersized. Uh, we have the stories. They do kind of come to collide, but we don't really know what's happening. And I'm gonna leave it at that for spoilers. I do want to show one last panel. Eddie Brock is taking a everything he's doing as the King in Black takes a toll on his body more than all that, as you might have seen in the previous iteration of Venom. So it is very interesting to see him in human form and how much that takes a toll on him, and kind of like the visions that he's having because of his connection to the symbiotes and whatever this other entity may be. So I think Al Ewing and Ramvi are doing an excellent job. I almost feel it almost feels like they teamed up. They're like, this is a story we're telling. Al Ewing wrote the cosmic stuff. Ramvi wrote the more dramatic, grounded stuff. It almost feels like that's their style. I'm not sure. That's just kind of how I took it based on previous readings of stuff that I've seen from both of the writers. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. And then they kind of met up, and then the comic has a lot. It introduces some cool new characters that are very interesting. So plants out a lot of seeds. There's this big spread with like it almost feels like, hey, this is coming in season one or whatever. Almost feels like something like that. So yeah, I'm super on board with this. I picked up way too many variants of this. You can check them out. If you follow me on Twitter at Echo Spider, I'll tweet out some pictures. My favorite was one of the Bill Sienkiewicz variants that I picked up. So let me know if you picked up this book. Let me know what variants you got, what you liked. Like I said, the writing was excellent. I think that the story is very engrossing for me. Considering how much I liked the previous run, the bar was always pretty high for this book, and I don't think the team disappointed me at all. Like I said, I really enjoyed Brian Hitch's art. I wish Marvel sometimes would step out a little bit out of the box with some of the art, but I understand why they want to put somebody successful and consistent like Brian Hitch on one of their mainstay books, which is insane to say that that Venom is now one of the mainstay books. But that's kind of the way comics goes. Like cool things are gonna get done. So we'll put our more consistent people on them. So yeah, but thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. Let me know what other books I should review. And yeah, hopefully you got your comics. I know there's a lot of stuff going on with Diamond and distribution and stuff this week. So we made a lot of reviews for the comics, but if you haven't been able to read them, I completely understand. So they'll be here on the channel for you whenever you are able to get your comics. Check out our link for our Patreon in the description. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.